What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Teen Talks. We're back at it again. New Year started last week, and we're really excited now to get the New Year starting and running. If you haven't checked out last week's episode, please do. And feel free to like and subscribe and do all that stuff because it's really going to help this channel grow. We want to help out as much as possible. We want to provide as much value as possible. So it really helps us out to give us your support. Just subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. But you know, I want to get straight into this episode. Susan, I haven't been completely honest with you. I've been hiding something from you actually, and I thought, it's good if you know, but I actually have two kids. Um,
What?
no, I'm just
What?
joking. I'm just joking. But okay, hypothetically, one day I'd like to have kids of my own. And, sometimes I think about it. I think about what my parenting style would be at that stage
Hmm.
of my life and all that. And whenever I've talked to parents, they've always told me like there's no manual. There's no way of doing it. There's no rule book when it comes to parenting.
Yep.
And that scares me. That honestly freaks me out because I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case,
What
then
do
what
I
am I
do?
supposed to do? Right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I thought today it would be a good idea, and to kind of go back and forth on different tips that you can give me from your perspective as a parent of three, um, for when I become a parent, and then I think I'd also like to share a few of my thoughts from my perspective as a kid,
Yeah.
on what could be different, what could be maybe better in my point of view. So
Mhm.
yeah, why don't you come on, give me some help me out here.
Give you some.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how old are your children?
Hypothetically, so the younger one is 11 years old.
The
She's
younger.
amazing. She's really into sports and stuff. And the older one, he is 13 years old, so he just became a teenager.
Okay.
And he doesn't like sports too much, but he's really into video games and stuff like that. So yeah, those are the two that I have so far.
Okay. So you got a teen and tween.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so a boy and a girl. I had both of those. So let's
Mm-hmm.
see. When they're that age, what I would try to do as a parent is have fun with them. This is the one thing that I wish I would have done more.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of always being the parent,
Yeah.
I wish I would have had more fun with them. So, like, if they're playing video games, I mean, I care less about video games, but be interested in it and
Mm.
ask about it and say, "Hey, can you teach me or can I play with you a little bit? Show me what to do."
Yeah.
Show interest in what it is they're wanting to do. And
Mm.
then you said my your daughter is into sports.
Yeah.
At 11 years old, go out and kick the ball with her, or go take her to whatever it is her sport that she loves. Take her
Yeah.
to a professional game, or go just play together.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what I'm saying overall is play more with your kids, doing the things that they love to do,
Yeah.
you know? And if you have something that you love to do
Mm-hmm.
that you think maybe they'd like to do it with you, bring
Yeah.
them along and see, you know?
Yeah. I
I
feel
think
like I feel like
sometimes
they don't like any of the stuff that I do.
yeah, well then don't do that. Do what they like to do.
Okay.
And sometimes
Okay.
you have to suck it up, Sometimes it's
Mm.
like, I don't really want to go out and kick the ball.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I don't really want to go out and kick the ball, but
Yeah.
it's not about me.
Mm.
It's about my kid, because then they're going to know that you care and they're
Yeah.
going to trust you more. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that
now
makes
let's
sense.
okay, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
go. We're gonna take this another way, right? Okay.
Okay.
I'll give some feedback, but now you just were a teen not too long ago.
Now this is in reality. Yes.
In reality,
Yeah.
you were a teen not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Let's flip the switch.
Yeah.
And I'm a mom,
Okay.
and I have a
Mm-hmm.
13-year-old and an
Mm-hmm.
11-year-old.
Okay.
What's the advice from a teenager's point of view that
Uh-huh.
you would give me as a parent? What you would like to have, or what you think would be a good thing?
Hmm. So, okay, the first thing that came to my mind, I had two words came to mind. Um, and those two words were let go.
Hmm.
This is
Okay.
gonna be this is gonna be a bit controversial, I think, because it's hard to do. It's really hard to do. I think as a parent, from my experience interacting with parents and being a hypothetical parent to two kids, um, it is probably one of the hardest things that parents, can do with their kids is to just let go, let them
Hmm.
be, let them explore, let them try things, let them experience new things, let them fail, let them take risks. Um, because like I think that's the ultimate way to grow. It's through experience, right?
Hmm.
And I only think that that is possible when you do let go, when you let them experience things. And I think as parents, it's great to set boundaries, you know, but at the same time, just kind of you also have to just trust them, blindly. Maybe they haven't proven anything to you, but you have to kind of just trust them blindly and let them go out into the world and explore things. And I know it's hard to do because, you want to be there for them, you want to protect them, you want the best for them ultimately. But, I just know that from my experience, I have felt best and authentic when it comes to and true to myself, really, when I've been given that freedom to go about things and try things my way. And that's obviously like staying within the boundaries of being respectful, like not doing crazy stuff, not going out and, hurting anyone or doing anything crazy like that. But just when it
Right.
comes to my life, the things that I want to do
Mhm.
for myself, things I want to try, um, yeah, so I would say that. I would say let go. And I'm not like let go fully, not like tell them, okay, you're on your own, but just kind of
Yeah.
remove yourself a little bit from the situation, remove
Yeah.
yourself from the control, let go of
Hmm.
the control. Yeah.
Yeah. Great advice. I think that's really great advice. And
Oh,
actually
thank you.
it kind of sort of pairs with the next one I was going to give you
Uh-huh.
is to
Okay.
let them fail.
Ooh, yeah.
Let them fail. So often we want to just rush in and rescue
Mm,
and then they don't learn anything. They don't grow. So let them fail. I Speaking of having a 11-year-old, when my daughter was about 11,
mm-hmm,
and she was so forgetful. Of course, they barely get to the bus on time.
mm-hmm.
So they're running to the bus. They used to run, and the bus driver knew them, that he'd be like, oh, here they come again, running, 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 because they're
Yeah.
always late. Haven't changed much either. Um, anyway, um, she would forget stuff all the time. She would forget her lunch.
Mm,
She would forget her homework. She would forget all these things. And I'd be there and I'm, she forgot her lunch again.
yeah.
Oh, I get in the car and I'd drive up to school and I'd go to the office and drop off the lunch.
Mm-hmm,
Or I see the homework sitting there. I'm like, oh my gosh, get in the car, drive up to school, drop it off. I
mm,
did that about 3 or 4 times. And finally, the secretary in the office looked at me and said, stop coming in here.
yeah.
I'm like, what? Just trying to help my daughter. You're not helping her. She just
Yeah.
keeps forgetting, doesn't she? I'm like, yep, she does. Let it go. Let it
Mm,
go. Let them fail. Because once I started to do that, eventually she got hungry and she's like, dang it. I guess I better bring my lunch this time. Or I get
yeah.
in trouble because I don't have my homework.
Mm,
And then she learns that she has to bring it. So let
yeah.
them fail.
Yeah. Let them learn the hard way, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, we
That
all
makes
learn the hard
sense.
way off. They don't
Yeah.
listen to us. Oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell them as a parent, you can tell, especially your teenagers, you
Yeah.
can tell them till you're blue in the face what to do or how to do it or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and they will think you're nuts. They won't listen. But then some coach or some other person says the exact same thing, and all of a sudden they're like, okay,
Yeah.
nature of the beast.
Yeah. My kids do that to me all the time, man. Yeah. It's rough.
Okay,
It's rough.
so what's another what's another piece of advice in the manual you would give from a teenager's
My
point of view?
From my point of view, so it's to piggyback off of the letting go as well. Like, I think it's good. Like our pieces of advice are kind of intertwining here. Um, my piece of advice would be to support them to the best of your abilities and just show them that you are there for them. And that doesn't mean doing things for them, like you were saying, but just letting them know that you are there and
Hmm.
showing up for them when they need you most. That goes such a long way.
Yeah.
That goes such a long way. And I'm talking about like, you know, from my experience as a kid, I didn't spend my teenage years with my family, like with my parents, because I was away from home. I was living away. I was living abroad.
Why were you living abroad? Just for those who have not know who we are here.
So I was living abroad because when I was 13, I moved to France to pursue my dream of becoming a professional soccer player. And so that's why I moved. My parents, everyone is they're all in Canada. They live there, and I'm currently in France still. But that's why I moved. And first of all, for them to let me go, I was already able to feel their support right from that. But at the
Hmm.
same time, despite the fact that I was away from home, I'd get a call from my mom every day. I'd get a call from my dad more often than many would think, but not every day, but quite often during the week. And they just let me know. They were like, if you need anything, we're here. And it wasn't as if they weren't necessarily like telling me, do this, do this, do this, do this, and all of that. It wasn't like that. They were telling me, look, we understand, you're far from home, but if you need anything, just let us know.
Right.
And that went such a long way because I knew that if if anything were to happen, if I wasn't feeling good or anything like that, I knew that despite that, I had people who were there, and those people were my parents, it was my family, and that meant like the world.
That's
So
awesome.
just I think that's a big thing. Something that I really appreciated from my upbringing was that I had support. I had people who were there for me no matter what, unconditionally. And yeah, it felt really good. And it still feels good to have that to this day.
Yeah.
Just to know that there's some certainty there in this uncertain world that there are people in my life who are going to be there for me no matter what.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love hearing that because sometimes we think our kids, especially I know parents of teenagers, oftentimes think that their teens don't care
Mm,
about them, about their, what you're giving them because they seem so interested in their friends and everything else. But they
yeah.
really do want to know you're there for them. They
Yeah.
really do want that encouragement, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm going to piggyback on that. My advice next, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
piggyback on that is um during the day, be intentional about thinking about what they're doing at school when they're not home and text them.
Mm,
Text them. Just nothing that they have to do, nothing like whatever, no reminders. Just text
yeah.
them and say, something like, I hope you're having a great day today, or, just remember I love you, or, um, I'm so proud of what how you did on whatever, or I'm so proud of the effort you put in for this project today. You're gonna kill it, that kind of stuff. I think it would, with the age of phones and they're in their hands anyway, they're gonna see it.
Yeah.
And just those little encouragements, reminders that how much you believe in them and that you care for them and you've got their back, that means the world. And I wish I would have done that more,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I think, our kids are struggling right now. Our kids are, it's been a tough few years. Being a teenager is hard anyway, but
Yeah.
in the last few years, it's even harder. And these kids are dealing with things going on in the world that they're feeling and they're experiencing in, watching from, it's affecting them. And
Mm-hmm.
so to know that they are cared for and loved, believed in, and they need to be reminded of that,
Yeah.
you know? So do that often,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I think that's huge right now. I think anytime, but especially now.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to share a story actually because it's
Okay.
tied to that. When I was in Canada, so this is like when I was like I don't know 10 or 11, when I'd go to school, sometimes my sister and I in our lunch boxes, our mom would like slip us these little notes and like little treats as well. Sometimes like I don't know, maybe it was like a small packet of chips or
Yeah.
something like that with like a little note, just saying something like, a small little message. And I just like remember opening up my lunchbox and seeing that and like a huge smile on my face
Yeah.
because like it mattered and it meant something,
Yeah.
and it felt so
Hmm.
good. So yeah, I understand where that's coming from.
Yeah. I did that too when they were small. I didn't do it all the time, but I'd write on their napkin. Because I put a
Yeah,
napkin in their lunch. But
yeah,
when they're older, you're generally not making their lunches anymore. So
yeah.
um, the phone I think is a good one.
It
But
is.
when they're little,
Yeah.
yes, definitely do that. That is so fun. And I love how your mom used to put in a little special treat that you probably normally wouldn't get in your lunch. That's fun.
Yeah, because she's, oh my God, we always get like healthy lunches and it's great. I'm happy. But sometimes when you get that little treat, man, it felt so good. Felt like
That
you
was
were on
me
top of the
too. My
world.
kids are always like, why can't we have white bread? My friends get white bread. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, that's the same thing,
And
man.
it's and they hated it back then because oh, Megan gets white bread all the time, and I have to have this healthy bread. And I'm like, yeah, sorry. So whenever she was over at Megan's house, she got white bread and she was so excited.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now that they're older, they're very
They
appreciative
appreciate it,
of
of
having
course.
good nutrition habits.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
you know,
Yeah. I was kind of sneaky back in the day. So what I would do is I'd have my packed lunch, but then all my friends, they always had like a bunch of other stuff and junk food. So I actually had like it sounds like a drug dealer, but everyone had something, and they'd give it to me. So I'd get like a chewy bar or a granola bar from someone. I get like a little packet of gummies from someone else. I get some chips from someone else, and just every day I kind of had my dealers.
yeah,
Um and
I
even had
think
one
that's more
person who
common than not. Yeah.
yeah, and I had one person who would always give me their juice box. And by the way, I wasn't forcing anyone, but at least I don't think I was like scaring them or anything. But I mean, it was just like, hey, can I have it? Yeah, here, thank you.
So parents, every once in a while, give them something worthwhile to trade.
Yeah,
Think about this. This is going on at school.
that's a bonus tip. Bonus
Yeah.
piece of advice.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Well, um, take good care of those children, will you?
Yeah, I will. Don't worry. I mean, they're in bed right now. It's kind of late here in France. Um, but yeah, I'll make sure that, they're good to go. And I'll put a little note in their lunchbox for tomorrow.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. And then maybe before you go to bed, I'm sure a lot of parents do this. Go up and watch them sleep.
Oh, that's a good
I know
idea.
that
Yeah.
seems weird,
Yeah.
but you just watch them sleep because then they're just little angels
Oh,
and you
yeah.
realize how much you love them and I can tell you now, since I don't have my kiddos in the house anymore, cherish those moments. Cherish them when they are like that because you won't get it
Yeah.
later.
Odds are they'll probably be faking being asleep. They're probably on their phones right now doing something
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I don't
Probably
know.
on social media, on TikTok. Probably scrolling through TikTok right now as we speak. I'll go check on
and
them after
and
this.
guess what? That's another topic to talk about. I think we'll need to talk about that at some point
Mm,
about the limits you put on phones and things like that because it is a big
yeah,
deal.
it
Social
is.
media and all that.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Conversation for another day.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you got something out of this from the advice from a teenager to you of how they want to be parented. And yeah, there is no manual. So we just take what we can get and learn and grow. And
Yeah.
oh, by the way, if I have way more tips, I have a
Mm,
special PDF that I've created that has my top 5 tips to raising teens well, and it's free. So you can download it and enjoy getting at least a little bit of a manual. I've also got some resources in there for books that are I find very helpful. Because we don't have, in this day and age, oftentimes we don't have the elders coming in and telling us, helping us and things like that. We're on our own.
Yeah.
So go ahead and download that at the end of this, and in the notes of
Yeah.
the
In the
podcast,
description.
we will have a link to download my top 5 tips for raising teens
Yeah.
in detail.
Yeah.
So,
Everyone go download that as well. Like I've read it. It's amazing. It's really good. And I'm not even a parent. Well, hypothetically I am, but I'm not. So yeah.
okay. All right. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.